I were starting Blender in 2024, this is exactly what I would do. Now, people ask me all the time what they think is the best thing to focus on in Blender, how long will it take them to achieve certain goals, things like this. Now, I can't answer this question. It is impossible. Here's why. Every single one of you has a certain level of strengths, weaknesses, interests, time availability, goals, things like that. So it is completely unfair to give you some blanket statement as to what is the best thing to focus on in Blender. If I were to personally talk to you and everyone else watching this video, I would undoubtedly give every single person completely different advice. So this question is useless. I can't give you some blanket recommendation. However, what I can do is tell you the categories to focus on, and you can figure out the answer yourself. Now, there are three main categories in 3D. You have modeling, you have design, and you have presentation. Each one of these is a key pillar to succeed in Blender, but you must figure out the category where you are lacking the most. For example, I've noticed most people can learn the modeling tools, and anyone can pick up Blender, slap a few cubes and some Boolean cuts and call it a model. Now, it takes a completely different level of thinking to create a design. This requires higher level thinking, including detail placement, visual design structure, functionality, and many different rules to follow, and a lot of it comes intuitively. Let me give you an example. This render is from one of our students, Dustin. He started with us around a year ago, and this is his first ever render. Clearly, he knew how to model, but he had no idea how to design or present his work. This model is just a bunch of cubes slapped together with some crazy HDRI image in the background. Basically, it's not very good, but you gotta start somewhere. So in his position, the best thing for him to improve on would have been design, and this is exactly what we had him do, focus on his design skills. Now, we have plenty of YouTube videos on design, and unfortunately, most people don't watch them because it doesn't give them the same level of instant gratification as slapping a few booleans together and calling it a day. Now, I can't really force people to succeed. It has to come from within, and there has to be a willingness to attack the uncomfortable areas. So if you're willing to do that, you can easily surpass your weak points. This was Dustin's most recent design about a year later. Night and day difference. I can clearly tell he doubled down on his weak points and got better at designing. Sure, his modeling skills probably improved as well, but even with weak modeling skills, you can still achieve pretty crazy results, assuming you know how to design and how to present your work. In fact, this is one of Ryu's renders literally a month into learning Blender. Clearly, he already had some design and presentation skills established, but his modeling skills needed work. See what I mean? Every single person has a different area they must focus on. If you can identify which area you're lacking in, and I'll tell you right now, most of the time it is design or presentation, then you can quickly get back up to speed by doubling down on your weak points. By far, the biggest problem I see is people trying to improve what they're already good at. A lot of people pick up modeling pretty quickly. It's really not that difficult, and all they do is they just keep modeling random stuff with no real thought process behind it. I mean, I was guilty of this too. We all have to learn. But if all you do is model when you're already good at modeling, you're sacrificing the other two important skills, design and presentation. This is why I see some people producing the same old work years and years later with zero visible improvement. They're stuck in that comfort zone either due to addiction to instant gratification or simply they're just ignorant. And the good news is both of these things can be fixed. It simply takes a willingness to learn. So I encourage you to take a hard look at your work and think what needs improved: modeling, design, or presentation. And if you need some help along the way, you can always join our premium programs over on blenderbros.com. For example, if you need help with presentation, you can check out Rendering University. If you need help with modeling, the Hard Ops course would be great. Or design skills, probably the Shape Bootcamp course would be a good choice as well. Heck, if you need help with everything, you could even join our Academy program. But regardless of your choice, you have two paths to take. The path of repeating the same old habits with zero improvement, or really looking at your work objectively and figuring out which area needs improvement. That is what I would do for 2024. Hope this video gives you a bit of guidance, and I'll see you in the next one.